Hey everyone, welcome to another Erasmataz Weekly Show. This is your boy Willem Alexander Coleman, also known as Erasmataz, coming to you one more time. As always, I'd want to thank you for watching me and supporting me. I know you haven't asked for my opinions on sports in Africa, but I'm going to give them to you anyway, as I continue with my quest to see an increased participation and investment in sports in Africa. So today I want to talk about the difficulty in getting sponsorships for sports and the possibility of looking in a different direction if we have to. Ghana's Parliament in late 2016 passed the Sports Act, and in it was an emphasis on increased participation and improved performance in sports, as well as enabling Ghana to operate sports in conformity with international standards. This act, together with the emergence of new sports agencies and existing ones, committed to making this happen. There hasn't been a better time to call for an investment in sports by the private sector. Um, Proper regulation and new trends in sports almost guarantees a good return for investors. There are professionals who are in touch with these new trends and will leverage them with the local situation to develop the various sports where we have a considerable amount of talent. The sports sector, as we know, has been growing steadily and is worth billions globally. In digital sports, for instance, in digital sports marketing, sorry, in 2001, less than 10% of sporting goods was purchased online. By 2011, it had grown to approximately 33%. By the end of the year, of this year, which is just a few days away, it is expected to rise to about 78%. So that shows how much sports digital marketing is growing over the years. Corporate partnerships in sports have become relevant due to its proven ability to transform local companies to national brands, and national brands to regional companies, and regional companies into global brands. This is done by making the brand relevant to many people throughout the world through sports, plain and simple. A typical example is Santander Bank of Spain, which has become global through Formula One racing. Before its association with sport, it was just probably like a national brand or a regional brand in Europe, but it became truly global through its association with sports. Another example is Vodafone's relationship with Manchester United in the early 2000s. And it became globally known because of its association with one of the biggest football clubs in the world. So yeah, that's another testament of how the association between brands and sports can lead to big things. And as we all know, with sports, there's always a story to be told. So, as a part of a new marketing communication paradigm, engagement activation plays a key part in sports marketing. Conventional advertising seeks to influence perception, which is brand awareness and positioning, whereas activation is designed to influence behavior, which is brand preference and affiliation. With calls to action and getting people involved, there's a far higher chance of people actually becoming attached to the brand. An example of a successful activation by a brand is Cruz Campo. It is a beer brand in Spain, who before the 2010 World Cup took a ball from Madrid all the way down to Johannesburg on foot. They literally dribbled a ball, well, balls, realistically speaking, from Madrid through a number of African countries all the way to Johannesburg. Coca-Cola does something similar with its World Cup trophy tour around the world before every FIFA World Cup. Highly engaging activations the brand give the brand substantial share of mind. Building real relationships between brands and consumers is now done through storytelling. Good stories always compel people to change and drive the audience to action. Behavior can be influenced through corporate partnerships, through activations and storytelling, and create strong emotional links with the audience. Sport provides a good touch for stories which will enhance the brand's image in the eyes of the public. In this era of digital media, there's a far wider reach of potential targets. With the number of people who watch television regularly in decline and users of digital media on the rise, the use of sports to tell a great story and reach a large audience can be very useful to companies in Ghana who want to take up the next step, to take the step up to the next level, sorry, regardless of the size and brand. On top of all this, it actually helps Ghana interest in sports as well, and will help get more people interested in viewing and participating in it. So, in a nutshell, from what I can deduce, sports plus digital media creates the ultimate segmentation formula, which is reach and relevance. I have always wondered why people in high places in business lament about the state of our sports. There are many of them who are key decision makers for their organizations and often look for ways to keep them relevant. My call, not for the first time, on them is to really consider sports as an avenue. There's always a story. There's always something to make a brand relevant to sports and sports relevant to a brand. And with digital media, there's an unimaginable reach if the story is told right. If there's any time for us to take advantage of these things, it is now, especially now that things seem to have slowed down a bit because of the COVID-19 pandemic and also because of the discovery of new variants, which is threatening to send us back to the days of, of social and economic slowdowns. Going forward, though, in spite of all the setbacks and hardship that the pandemic has put us through, let's make the year 2022 the year that we rethink our relationship with sports in Ghana and how it can be of help to sports development. The commercial benefits are endless. Now, whenever we talk about sports in Ghana, we always talk about the same ones: maybe football, boxing, and athletics. Maybe we'll throw in some hockey, volleyball, and now maybe some basketball and tennis as well. But in all this, it is no secret that football takes an overwhelming chunk of the attention, while the other sports sharing the little that's left. A lot of lip service has been paid to the development of all these sports, but gradually change will come. I'm positive about it. That's part of the reason why I'm doing all this, because I want there to be more attention for other sports and more participation as well. I've been advocating for making use of the sports ecosystem, which would inspire enough confidence for the corporate world to want to invest in our sports. I've been calling for reforms in the way our various sports are run and administered in order to attract partnerships from companies in Ghana. When we were looking for partnerships for the 2018 edition of the Under 13 Dubai Intercontinental Cup, one of the common reasons we were given for being turned down was that for their corporate social responsibility, their focus was not sports. In most cases, it was either health or education. So here's where my difficulty lies. First of all, I believe that we need to stop looking at sports and its development purely from a social angle, where it relies on CSR to survive. There are countless commercial benefits in sports to make companies want to use sports to elevate their various brands to another level. At the time, the company that I co-founded, which is Center 14 Sports and Entertainment, was a new company with new ideas, and so we decided to take the challenge of using an under 13 football tournament to see if we could convince corporate Ghana to invest in it. Unfortunately, as I have said on many occasions, we were only able to get help from Canada and Dubai, nothing from Ghana. Another difficulty lies with the fact that very few companies, if any at all, consider sports as a means of communicating to their target markets, as I have just spoken about. All the places we went to said they were either focused on health or education, like I just said. And it makes me wonder, doesn't sports help increase the health of the population? Also, I hardly ever come across any sports organization these days that does not have some educational program tied to it. I guess in the 21st century, everyone knows that a professional career in sports is not guaranteed to begin with. And even if one does become a professional, how long does that career last? it doesn't last long. It's a very short career. So getting an education, sorry, is critical to even pursuing a career in sports these days. If it's that difficult to get partnerships in Ghana for football, then I can only imagine what people go through seeking for partnerships in other sports. Sitting down and thinking how hard it is to get people to buy into the idea of investing in sports, even for events that in today's sporting terms are very inexpensive, and that it may be easier to even get help from outside Ghana, then why not explore the idea of taking it up a notch? Why not consider applying for Tema or Takrady, which are port cities, uh, to host a leg of either the America's Cup or the Volvo Ocean Race? Now, for the benefit of those who may not know what any of them may be, they are both sailing events. Yes, sailing. The America's Cup is a race between two yachts. One of them is known as the Defender, which represents the yacht that holds the cup, and the second yacht is known as the Challenger, which represents the yacht challenging for the cup. The Volvo Ocean Race, however, is a round the world sailing race, which normally takes 9 or 10 months to complete, where they make stops at various points across the globe. For the Volvo Ocean Race, I think that Tema or Takrady could be one of the stops. I don't see any reason why that shouldn't be the case. Now, yes, I know that sailing is definitely not a sport that Ghanaians would be interested in, granted. But these are high end sports that would bring in a lot of attention. And it will bring us tourism and perhaps even interest in a new sport in Ghana. You never know. If it is advertised properly, if it is spoken about properly, it could actually spark an interest in people wanting to take up sailing in Ghana, even though it's expensive. Now, attention and tourism are guaranteed. These are, like I said, high end sports with high end sponsors. There will be a massive influx of some of the world's most affluent people and most luxury brands for a few days. Now, let's think about it this way. Accra is also projected to be the African city with the highest growth in millionaires over the next decade. So that presents a case for these brands to make a presence in Ghana for a few days, in addition to their media exposure to do some good business. I mean, with some of these nouveau rich people here in Accra. If we cannot get Ghanaian companies to invest in our sports in a way that will be mutually beneficial, then maybe we need to show these Ghanaian companies how it's done by bringing in the Louis Vuittons, the Rolexes, the Emirates Airlines, the Volvos, and the Axo Nobles of the world, and show them how it's done on our soil too. I'm in no way saying that it's going to be easy to get Ghana, as in Takrady or Tema, to host any of these events. But I believe that with a few modifications and perhaps permission from the Ghana Ports and Harbors authorities, either Takrady or Tema should be able to host one of these events or any events like the aforementioned ones. Takrady, especially, with the seems ripe, if you ask me, for an event like that because of their vibrant hospitality setting. It's a very long shot, I know, but we even harbor hopes of bidding to host a FIFA World Cup with one flagship stadium in Accra. Do you remember when there was talk of us building a world-class stadium here in Accra, which we would use to bid to host the 2038 FIFA World Cup? One stadium? Anyway, well, hosting is a sailing event, and in my estimation, is a far more realistic target than wanting to bid to host the 2038 World Cup. And this, I believe, we can achieve in the next 5 to 7 years. Let's put our shoulder to the wheel and look beyond what is comfortable. All the football, and let's do something that is a bit different and may even seem uncomfortable, for want of a better term. This way, we also turn the heads of our local companies so that they see what they've been missing out on. I mean, if you're able to bring the Volvos, the Rolexes, and they come and they're able to get a foothold on the Ghanaian market through sports, and through a sport not even as popular as football, a sport like sailing, which I know is definitely not popular in Ghana. uh, they will see what they've been missing out on. After all, we've always been asked to dream and think big, right? So maybe we need to do things differently to achieve the results we are looking for. We have tried the same things over and over again, and we are still right where we have been for a very long time. So I say, let's switch things up and see what that brings. They say all die be die, right? So I think it's time. Well, this was a short one. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, kindly hit like and share it for others to watch as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I'll be back real soon with another Erasmataz weekly show or an offside call. This has been William Alexander Coleman, aka Erasmataz, and I'll see you real soon. Peace.